Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to Momsense. I'm Kyleigh.
And I'm Kambria.
This week we're going to talk about schedules.
Oh, Lord.
Cam sent me a text and was like, schedules are crazy this week. Can we move recording from this time to this time? Just kidding. Actually, this time. No, I lied. Actually, this time. And so,
as
a mom, that all too real.
Oh, man.
I saw this Facebook post actually last night, and it made me laugh because it's like, this is so true. It said, one day my period was late, and since then I haven't been on time to anything.
Oh, my gosh. For real. It's them kids, right? It's these kids.
They be slowing you down.
For real, though. For real. That's too funny. But yeah, so this week, man, my kids are on fall break, and Justin was just traveling. He'll be traveling some more, and so we are just rolling. It's crazy. Kinsey is only out for 2 days. Then the littles are out all week. So I'm just trying to figure everything out. And, it's fun.
You make it work as you go.
Yeah, exactly. But, so since you've had Xander, how has scheduling changed? Or are you just always late?
For the most part, we're always late.
But even before?
No, I was not always late before. Actually, I was probably that person that was maybe there a little bit too early. So I definitely struggle with the being late thing. I don't love it. I laughed this weekend because we were traveling and we said we were going to be at, we had Brady's cousin's Carson, his hockey game this weekend. And I had told Brady's Mimi, I said, well, we plan to be there at 11:30. And we're like getting ready. Xander is still asleep. And I'm like packing everything up. And she goes, Kyleigh, it's like 11:18.
You're like.
And I said, Mimi, I tell myself 11:30 knowing it's actually going to be 11:45.
Exactly. You
tell yourself.
Because then it's a small win.
Because then you're like, okay, I knew I actually needed to be there at 11:45. So you're kind of planning ahead so you're not late. You're like on time.
Exactly.
So we got there on time. But yeah, I did
small
that.
Small wins.
She laughed at me and I was like, do what you got to do.
Exactly. Well, so scheduling for me is sometimes funny, and whenever you and Brady, if y'all decide to have another, you'll see the dividing and conquering is real. And it's something that, as we talked about, you put your marriage first, but in some instances it's like, what are we gonna do? Like Wednesdays lately have been crazy for us with cheer and then with podcast and just a bunch of different things that we have going on. Justin and I hardly even see each other.
We've been in a similar boat recently of, Brady, I need you to grab Xander because I've got this work event or that work event. Or, hey, again, putting aside time for myself to go get my nails done. Or girls' night or whatever that looks like. Hey, babe, can you grab Xander? Or we have at work coming up a couple of mornings that I have to be in early. And Brady generally doesn't drop Xander off. But I'm like, hey, I'm going to need you to drop him off. Because the mornings that I need to be there early, I can't drop him off early enough and still make it. So you just pull the levers where you can and try and figure it out.
You figure it out for sure. I will say with our schedules, we have a shared calendar. I put everything on Justin's calendar.
I do the same thing for Brady.
And a lot of times I have to write it down because I'll forget. And like on the way here, I text Kinsey and I was like, we have to do this and this and this and this. Please text me and remind me because I'm going to leave your message on unread.
Yep.
And, whenever we're coming home, I'll know
to text yourself.
I actually do every single day.
I would say I text myself all the time.
The amount of random stuff I send to myself is almost comical. Or I send Kinsey a lot of stuff. Like last night I sent her like cabinet pulls because I'm like, okay, I want to remember this and I don't want it to get lost. Yeah. I know that I can go look at my link or links that I've sent to her and find it.
I do the same thing.
But yeah, so with our schedule, right now, so Kinsey is obviously in school full time. Thank God my dad is able to take her to school because my brother, who is 10, yes, my brother is 10 years old. My brother and her go to the same school, and it's just on the way. Then I pick up both of them and bring them back. However, whenever we move, I don't know that that's going to be the case. And I'm really like, oh man, that's going to be interesting because
that'll be a drive for you guys, huh?
It will be. It's honestly not too bad.
Not horrible.
But Jet and Oakley, they are see, with scheduling also, sleeping schedules are huge for me.
Yes.
My babies are sleepyheads. Like today, they slept until 9, and they're just like barely getting out of bed. Like both of them are like, And then Kenzie's just already awake, just like bebopping around the house, doing her chores.
Xander is not a sleepyhead.
But so we're going to have to like wake up real early with all 3 kids. And I mean, that's going to be interesting. We've only done it 2 or 3 times.
How do they sleep in the car?
You know, it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
And they don't transfer well.
Okay.
So it's just kind of like once I've got them up, then they're like, ugh. And Jet is not a morning person, a total mood.
Oh, man.
And then Oakley just immediately wants food. So it's just like one of those things. You know, I got my car cleaned the other day, and I was feeling really good about myself. And then I looked in Oakley's car seat, and I'm like, oh, heavens. Like, oh, girl.
We gave Xander food in the car yesterday because we were traveling back from College Station. And I was giving him like little bites of cheeseburger, which I don't love feeding him while he's in like that kind of slouch position.
Yeah.
But man, he was screaming his head off.
You got to do what you got to do.
And so I was like, this kid's got to eat. We are trying to get home at this point.
Yeah.
Not trying to prolong this road trip any longer.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm giving him like little bites. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're disgusting. Your car seat's disgusting. Like, it needs to be cleaned. There was one day while we were on our trip that we had gotten Xander out of the car seat and didn't realize he had like a bottle stuck in the seat upside down. And so it leaked in his car seat all night. So there's just this big wet spot. I'm like, it's disgusting. And so, yeah, we have the same stuff. Like,
you know, yeah, we have a similar story like that. But the bottle was left there and molded, and I didn't find it until I found the smell.
Oh, no.
So, total fail right there. But, so funny thing, with scheduling, I love to point out, gosh, my tribe is awesome. My tribe is amazing. I'm super thankful for everyone in my life who helps me, which is family and friends.
Yeah.
You know, last week, Kinsey cheered 2 games on Thursday, and Justin was out of town. And I'm like, these 2 babies are not going to sit at the football game for
that long.
Oh, yeah. Like, by the end of the first half on the first game, I mean, Oakley was covered in M&Ms. Jet is running back and forth on the stairs, wanting to go up. At one point, I'm like, where's Jet? And he's at the very tippy top of the stadium, like in the corner, sitting by himself watching the game. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
But someone's like, where's his parents?
Exactly. And I mean,
I can see him. He's fine.
Yeah. And I'm so thankful. You know, one of the cheer moms offered to take Kinsey home. And typically we don't do school night sleepovers, but I'm like, you know, this is what we're going to have to do today.
One of those times.
It is. And, you know, Kinsey had told me, she's like, you don't have to go. It's fine. You can stay home. But I'm like, I'm not going to miss. Like, you know,
yeah, it's important to be at least there for some capacity.
Exactly. To be her wallet, because she's like, can I have cash? I want something from the concession stand.
ATM, cha-ching.
Exactly. But I mean, super, super thankful for, you know, everyone in my life. My mother-in-law is awesome. My mom, the cheer moms, literally my sister-in-laws.
It's so great to be able to call someone and just say, hey, I need help.
Exactly. And I mean, Justin's in a very busy season in life. And so while I do rely on him, you know, 99% of the times that he can't or that he's out of town, it's like, geez, I'm so blessed, because how many people can say, I can call at least 10 people right now and figure out a situation.
And somebody will come, yeah.
Exactly.
I love that. We are also kind of in a similar situation as far as just have great people. And sometimes it's not even, hey, can you go get my kid? It's, hey, I have to leave work early today to make sure that I can grab Xander, get him home.
Exactly.
So that Brady can see him for a few minutes before he goes to work. Or, you know, we can only be at this event for an hour because we have another event that we have to run to. And, I mean, this weekend, we traveled this weekend, but I'll tell you, we didn't spend a dime. We didn't lift a finger. Like,
yeah,
it's things like that it just goes to show your tribe is more than just, hey, we're there for whenever you have the moments you need us. It's we're there for you all the time.
Yep.
It's the, hey, while we're on vacation, I'm going to hold the baby so you can have a hot meal.
Oh, man.
I'm going to, I'll get him down for a nap so you can go take a shower. It's things that not every day do you have those luxuries.
No.
And you take for granted those things like having a hot meal.
Oh, yes.
And then you take into account, like, again, Xander having an allergy, so not being able to just feed him anything.
Exactly.
People are very accommodating of, hey, what restaurant can we go to that he can have food to?
Yeah, that's so nice.
Hey, I'll stop and grab him food so that, you know, when we go somewhere that he's content, he's good.
Yeah, yesterday I was sitting down trying to eat dinner, and it never fails. One of the kids is crying. Somebody needs something the second I get food on my plate. And I just looked at Kinsey. I was like, oh my gosh, Kinsey. Every time. And I get up and I went and took care of whatever it was. But I'm like, man, it's the little things. Fails. It's the little things. Whew, never fails.
So you had mentioned sleep schedules are big for you.
Oh, man.
So Xander's not a sleepyhead. Homeboy likes to party.
Man, I'm sorry for you.
He wakes up. There are nights that he sleeps through the night. Like, Friday night, he slept through the night. Saturday night, he did not.
He's like, not today, Mom.
Yeah, it just depends on the day. And sometimes I'm like, is it because, is his nap schedule off? Did he get too much sleep during the day? And then I'm like, he only took one 20-minute nap all day. There's no way.
Oh, wow.
He does not nap.
That's crazy.
Well, at all. I mean, daycare will tell me, he didn't nap at all today. He's not even fussy. He's just not angry. He just chills.
I'm hanging out.
You can tell he is tired, but he's just chilling. So sleep schedule's not a thing in my household.
Oh, I'm so very sorry to hear that.
For a while, it was like, okay, at 7:30, this kid is done. He's ready for bed. We do bath. We were very routine. And now he sometimes is you can see that he's tired, and so we do dinner and bath. And we do the routine, and he's ready to go to bed at 7:30. But he's not always ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
And so, do you guys hey, 7:30 or whatever time that is hard stop? You are put in your crib and you go to bed.
Absolutely.
Because we are not, because it's okay, he's awake, he wants to play, he's just chilling, so we just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
I think about as a human, there are some nights that I'm like, God, I'm exhausted. I just want to get in my bed. And there are other nights that I sit down in bed and I'm like, it's 10:30.
I could go run on the treadmill right now.
It's 12. Oh my gosh, it's 2:00 in the morning and I'm still watching TV. I'm not tired. What the heck?
Yeah.
And so I just try to think about those situations. Obviously, it's our job as parents to try and help give our kids healthy habits. Now, if it's midnight and he's still not asleep, okay, there's something going on.
Yeah.
But if it's 8, 9 o'clock, I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I just let him play. Let him lay with us, whatever he wants to do. If he's not screaming and flailing and acting crazy, I just let him chill.
See, good for you, because not me. I'm like, oh, I need 8 o'clock to come right now, because then I have an hour with Kinsey and then maybe an hour with Justin, and then it's bedtime.
Yeah.
But I mean, with 3 kids, balancing that, it's how do you allocate your time with each kid and giving them their time, and also just making sure everything gets done, because I mean, it's 3 times laundry, 3 times
no, for sure.
dishes, chores, and thankfully Kinsey's awesome. She helped out so much around the house. But I mean, yeah, it's some days I'm like, wow, it's only 7:30. I'm like, they can go to bed early. And I mean, Jet will sit in his bed and play with his toys sometimes, and then he just lays down. And
yeah, Xander is not that person. If I just lay him in his crib, he's not going to sleep.
Justin could literally sit anywhere and fall asleep. Anywhere.
Brady can't do.
Within seconds. And I'm like,
you're I was just talking to you, having a full-blown conversation. How are you asleep?
I don't understand.
Yep. Brady does it too.
I am envious of that. But I will say, the Lord says, be specific in your prayers. And boy, I am extremely specific, almost to a fault. But when I was pregnant with, each child, I was like, Lord, please help them to develop great sleeping habits. help my babies to be sleepyheads. I did say for them to be morning people, but it's fine. Whatever.
Sometimes we don't always receive what we ask for.
Hey, exactly. But I mean, I was very specific in my prayer for that because I'm like, I need my sleep too.
Yeah.
Before I married Justin, I would go to bed early, super early, and he's a night owl.
Is he? You know what? I say that, but he do be texting me sometimes late, and I'm like...
And he called you the other night at 10, and I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. She's probably asleep. And he's like, oh no. We were texting about this, and I'm like, what if she wants to be asleep, and now you're waking up? Rude.
I was laying in bed, and I was like, oh, he's calling. Hello.
I love Justin to death, man. I love him so much.
Brady's asleep at 7 o'clock. He's like, who's calling you at this time?
Right. No, but let me tell you, I love Justin, but man, he is a phone call guy. And I'm not a phone call person.
Really?
I'm not at all.
Okay.
But typically, so this is funny. I say that almost every time Justin calls me, I'm like trying to get out of the car. One of the kids are screaming. Something is going on, and I'm just like, honey, context clues.
Yeah,
this could have been a text message. Yeah.
Now's not the time.
But yeah, he's definitely a phone call person. It's funny. And so with we're talking normal life schedule. When we get on racing schedule, that Jet does stay up late because we don't want him to miss a race. We actually have a picture where he is standing asleep like this in the stands at a race. But so with racing, that Oakley still goes to bed at 8. And she still sleeps till about 9, which I'm super thankful for. But I mean, this past weekend, for example, we weren't there, but races didn't get over until 1 a.m.
Jeez.
And then they got to load up everything.
Yep.
Typically, if we're there that late, they got to load up everything. Justin's hungry, so I'm like, making him something to eat. We don't get to bed till 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. And then we got to wake up when the kids are up. There's no just hanging out. And so super thankful for sleepyhead kids in that instance, because even just sleeping till 9 is great. I probably could sleep till noon on those nights because I'm
sure
chasing Jet at the racetrack and, making sure Oakley's not touching anything because she doesn't understand that that's hot. Or, she wants to keep up with what Jet's doing, and, she
just can't. Yeah. So prior to children, were you a routine person or a fly by the seat of your pants person?
Always routine.
Always routine.
I think because I'm an only child, I think that formed a lot of the routine habits and consistency. I did competitive cheer, so pretty much everything was on a schedule.
Yeah, that's fair. I was probably a healthy mixture, probably more fly by the seat of your pants of okay, cool, let's go. Definitely more routine now, almost to a fault.
Justin's still the okay, cool, let's go kind of guy. Oh my gosh, we went to Nebraska Furniture Mart not too long ago after church. He's like, let's go, it'll be fine. And I'm like, I mean, are you sure? And so we're on the way to Nebraska Furniture Mart. We go from church. I'm looking in the diaper bag, and I'm like, we have no diapers. I'm like, great. Okay. And I mean, but he's like, it's fine. It'll be fine. And I love how he's very positive and just go, go, go. But I mean, sometimes I'm like, slow it down.
Yeah. Brady is more routine. He likes a routine. But I would say we've also, now that we're a little bit more feet on the ground, figuring it out, don't feel so I have no idea what's happening in my life right now. As parents, we are getting more spontaneous of let's just go. Let's just do.
Yeah.
Which is so nice.
It is nice.
That fills my cup up a little bit. Because
I was going to say, I'm thankful that Justin is like that sometimes, because I am the type that will go sit at home and
you'll get
totally fine.
Get stuck in a rut.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Yep.
But so to wrap this show up, so you can get back on schedule. And I got to get back on schedule because I have 6 things that I need to do prior to picking up my children at 3 p.m. today. So,
I like that you have 6 things exactly.
Hey, it's the consistency schedules, type A, very type A over here. I'm like,
I don't even know what type I am. I feel like I don't even know. I've had people say you're type A, and I'm like, I don't think I'm that extreme.
You're like, do you know what the types are. But do you have a mom win or fail for the week?
I think I have a mom fail. So Xander, his whole life, like, we just take him and go and do whatever we're doing. Like, he just goes with us for the most part. And I think he's getting to that age where he's showing more, he's communicating more, and I'm starting to pick up on some of those cues of, like, what he's trying to say without.
Yeah.
So one of the things, like, body language, say. So one of the things I noticed this weekend that I was like, oh my gosh, why did I not notice this sooner? So he's not shy. He will go.
That's good. That's so
to
good.
anybody. He will talk to anybody. When we went to the fair, he's like waving at people. Hi.
He's like, we're friends.
Yeah. And this weekend, like, if anybody looked at him, he's like, you want to hold me? You want to hold me? Okay.
Yeah. We're best friends.
So one of the things so Brady has 2 motorcycles. One of them Xander loves. Like, he's not afraid of it. The other one, he's a little bit more like.
Is it louder?
It's not louder. I think the pitch is different. I think it's a little bit of a higher pitch.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I noticed one time that he did with Brady was he, like, did the shy, like, tuck his head into Brady's shoulder and just kind of, like, lay down.
Yeah.
And this weekend, we're at the hockey rink. It's loud in there, but it's not so loud that I thought to bring his headphones.
Yeah.
And he kept, like, laying his head down on whoever's shoulder was holding him. And I thought, man, he is tired. And then I started to notice when he did it was, like, if a puck hit the side of the rink, or the guys were taking their sticks and pounding them on the side of the rink, or we were there during warm-ups so Carson could give Xander a puck. And it's a lot. They're shooting the puck into the goal, and it's a lot of clinking and clacking, and he kept laying his head down, and I thought, you just woke up from a nap. How are you tired? And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's probably loud and hurting your ears.
Yeah, and he's just like, I can't.
Yeah, and he wasn't crying or acting scared or anything. He just kept, like, laying his head down and just kind of, like, tucking his head into your shoulder. I was like, man, mom fail for not catching that. Also, mom fail for, I have headphones for him and I didn't pack them. So.
See, I'm mom fail all the way with headphones. At the racetrack, my kids, I'm like, you'll be fine.
We're taking him to a Stars game this weekend, and so I will absolutely be packing.
Hey, but it's also a win, though. You flip it, because now you know.
But I went all weekend. I didn't figure it out until Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
it happens to the best of us.
I was like, oh, gosh, I'm sorry, bud.
So I have a win. It hasn't happened yet, but it's about to. I have a win. So Sweet Kenzie Cat is in the room with us today, and I get a Kenzie day. So we're going to go furniture shopping and just do a couple things together. It's rare. Yeah, it's rare that I actually, get one-on-one time with Kenzie. So when I do, I cherish it so much, and I'm super thankful. My mother-in-law has the babies, so we get some time together, and I mean, I love it. I need it, and I wish I, honestly could do it more. It's difficult,
Yeah.
You can't just leave 2 babies all the time. They kind of need you.
I only have one. I can't leave him half the time. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, one thing I will say. One thing that will throw off my schedule so fast, and I will drop anything for it. My nails.
You're like, I will move things around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get a broken nail. I will change. I'll ditch anyone. I mean, like, just being honest.
Sorry, you gotta go. I gotta get my nails done.
Yep. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to the Momsense Podcast. I'm Kambria.
And I'm Kyleigh.